And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back, fellow gamers. Welcome back. Welcome to my live stream. That is the title of the stream. Welcome to my live stream. It's short, it's direct to the point, and it's very generic. The modern audience show wasn't working because we all know why. We all know why it's not working. Because the modern audience doesn't exist. Again, welcome back, everyone. As always, the music playing in the background is Welcome to the Show by Kevin MacLeod, licensed under Creative Commons 4.0, and you can download it for free at incompetech.com. And if you are using Kevin MacLeod songs or music and you are getting copyright claimed, that is not done by Kevin MacLeod. Those copyright claims that you might be getting are coming from assholes in YouTube that would download music like those from Kevin MacLeod, slap it on a generic video, upload it to YouTube, and now they think it's theirs. And it's not just somebody, an individual doing it. There are actual, I guess you can say, groups or even companies or labels doing it. It is so insane. A bunch of assholes, which is obviously not surprising to see or learn about assholes in the internet. And the gaming industry has been plagued or infected with assholes, and those are the woke gaming developers, the woke gaming studios, the woke gaming reporters, not journalists. They're not journalists, and their goal is to take away what we like. And what is it that we like when we are playing games? Well, we like to have fun, and that is what they're doing. They are taking away our fun because they themselves don't know how to make fun games or how to make anything fun. Even their style of writing is not fun. That is why I implore you, never click on a link heading to those gaming reporters' websites. Do not give them any views. Do not give them any clicks. Because those groups, those people will never change. Those companies will never change unless their bottom line gets hurt. If it's not affecting their bottom line, which is, everyone know, that is profit and money. If it's not affecting their bottom line, they're just going to keep doing what they're doing, and that is making games that are not fun to play, sadly. Anyway, guys, let's get started. Let's get started with today's show. If we can call it a show. Is it a show? It's not a show. It's just one guy doing random things while live streaming. Okay, look at that. First thing we see is the most toxic feminists whose goal is to destroy what we love. And that is, again, that is fun. So it says here she is back. Sarkeesian. Anita Sarkeesian is back. Smash JT. It is still surprising that these people are still finding work. Who are employing these people? Honestly, those people who are hiring these people, we need to find out who they are so that we could avoid supporting them. Again, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to destroy fun in games. And they are all mentally retarded. I'm going to use the word retarded because they are offended and they complain when they see skins on actual objects, and those are fictional characters on screen made of pixels. They go wild, they go insane whenever they see women or females in games showing up skins. But if it's a real live woman or female just covering her tits and her genitalia and everything is skin, they call it brave and courageous when it's perverted, immoral, and unethical. It's just dirty. To them, that is brave and courageous when a real life human being female does it. But if it's done by, or when it's applied to a fictional non-existing character that shows skin, they go insane. That is the level of mental retardation these people have. They care more about pixels on screen than actual human beings. Anyway, I'm just going to check out my, let's see, just checking out my phone here. Nothing is happening. Because I'm waiting for something on my phone. Anyway, let's go back. Let's start with Smash JT. Anita Sarkeesian is back. Whoa! No sounds.
All out.
Anita Sarkeesian is back, and gamers all groan in unison. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Some people that have been rejected by the game industry so hard.
These people needs to be pushed away, okay? Not pushed back, but pushed away.
They can't help themselves but try to strike gold once again. And that's exactly what's transpiring right now with Anita Sarkeesian, who has opened up her website for, you guessed it, consultancy, doing exactly what Sweet Baby Inc. does and telling game companies exactly.
There you go, guys. Attention all gamers. Any games that have this woman involved in it,
These game companies that are just
I implore you, avoid it like the Black Plague.
into account.
Avoid it like someone is walking close to you with COVID-19.
Better.
Avoid it like COVID.
Diverse, inclusive, and equitable for all. Do these words ring a bell? And just keep in mind that
And there are
for consultants
ramblings that even the dreaded virus was like made up.
that a company should be trusting their million-dollar IPs to make sure the game doesn't flop.
I remember that. I heard it was like she couldn't get married, so she married herself.
Sarkeesian's inclusive video game design
They don't even understand the concept of marriage because
make sure that you don't miss any
how would they?
blind spots.
How
Because
would they understand it?
invent problems that don't exist to justify her existence. Anita Sarkeesian, a grand
Okay, I'm going to give the video a like even though it's not yet finished.
resentment across the gaming community these days. And of course, she couldn't help herself. She had to find a way to make a grand return. The insane asylum reject who married herself is now this time arming herself with a brand new consultancy business aimed at inclusive video game
They hate it when they see
services. Shocker, I know. Somebody
beautiful
completely unhinged
women characters in games because they themselves, again with the they themselves are not beautiful.
themselves
They're not beautiful in the outside.
opinions.
They're also not beautiful in the inside, which makes it like 100 times worse.
Problems that don't exist and pushing her agenda onto unsuspecting developers, all in the name of making a quick buck. Anita Sarkeesian,
Honestly, with all of this being blown up,
video game industry,
it's like
as long
the information is like all over internet, in the internet. And if there are game developers, gaming studios that still
doesn't lead to
falls for this scam,
gamers in general. And what started out
there is no excuse.
back then as a
There is no excuse.
for better
They can't
representation of women in games,
make any excuse that they didn't know.
divisive crusade.
Even I, is not a gaming studio or a game developer, even I know.
Game player story, but for
I know about it.
problematic
It's all over the internet.
gamer who actually
If you are a gamer or if you've ever played any games,
don't play video games, that can be pretty offensive to you. You know, the modern audience, the people that don't buy the games, the
the
people
modern audience does not exist.
game for them. This is the epicenter of the virus that is
And you know who this modern audience are? These are the woke people, the pride people, the PDF file people.
promises to quote unquote help game developers by eliminating problematic
Those are the woke audience.
historically problematic
But the problem is, although there are
complex authentic characters.
those part of the modern audience that do play games, it's not all of them. It's not a big part of who they are. And I don't know what happened, but the video suddenly buffered. Wow, it buffered, and now JT is blurry.
My entire life, since I was in a diaper until present day, and never once have I picked up a game and been so offended that I'm like, man, I hope this game gets changed and fixed.
What they like to do is go online and complain about things that does not affect them.
All it means at the end of the day is more censorship, more homogenization of stories, and more politically motivated content that ends up ruining any of the fun.
They want to be the savior of mankind. They want to be Jesus Christ, but
If you can make a company feel like they'll be canceled,
all they're doing is destroy everything they touch.
then the game company is going to say, oh,
Everything they get near,
we'll pay you. You
near to or near with.
can tell the general public out there that
If they get close to it,
to make sure that every
it dies.
historically
That's why it's not DEI, guys. It's not DEI, it's DIE.
person that gets offended to everything, so you
And this thing, I believe, is only happening in the West.
is simple.
Maybe because I haven't really
Fix them. She thrives on
dug deep
that are not
within my local gaming communities, but
other forms of oppression. Her website,
I think this is,
like eliminating,
well, most of it are maybe confined
sound like
in the
progress.
West,
Ultimately, it
or
trends
maybe limited within
on creative freedom.
the West.
It's been around for a long time.
Because if you've heard Eastern game developers, they don't hate their gamer. They don't hate their gamers.
Take Tim Schafer, for example, someone who I actually
And most games that they release,
of
games coming from the East,
for Psychonauts 2.
they still have
He was duped.
good-looking characters.
So-called insights
3
were
viewers,
valuable in
plus
the
3,
first place.
Whoa!
Raising
55.
Wow! That is amazing. According to Wisbot, that is Wisebot, by the way. There are 3 viewers plus 3. I have no idea
What
how that works.
doing here? It's a creative vision from an artist making a game. If you get offended by it, go play a different game. Like, the game industry is massive. Not every
There are thousands of games, guys.
problem with these consultants
Thousands.
is they come in, homogenize everything, and say, okay, has to be like this. You need to have the main character.
A fun game, a AAA game doesn't mean it's a fun game.
Needs to be like this.
There are a lot of indie games that are actually fun to play,
Feels exactly the same.
like Skyrim. I'm just kidding.
Bear traps is nothing more than a strategy to insert unnecessary revisions based on fabricated or exaggerated social critiques. I don't want to speak for everyone, but at the same time, I think it's pretty safe to say on this one that we don't want someone like Anita Sarkeesian coming in and telling us that our favorite games are offensive. We want good stories.
She could come back, she could try to come back, but in the end, it's up to companies, corporations to hire her.
Shove down your throat until you accept it, unless at the end of the day you decide not to, and then, oh God, you're a bigot. Sarkeesian
But guess what? We as gamers have the power.
is
We have the power. It may not be Nintendo power, but we have the power.
with the diversity
If we
of these games.
know that this lady got involved in one studio or games or a series of games,
Female protagonists.
we know what to do next.
Of different races, and
We avoid it like the plague.
that's not enough for
That's it.
because
That's it.
consultancy business depends on people getting offended. So no matter how perfect your game is, if she doesn't find a reason to inject herself into the game, then she doesn't have a job. So obviously she's going to keep looking for problems and keep pedaling down this censorship road until the entire game industry is eroded into dust. And going through her website even more, seeing terms like holistic integration of diverse identities and removing problematic player actions sounds more like a checklist of things that alienate actual gamers rather than anything that would really genuinely improve the game in the first place. It's obvious that her focus is not on what makes games more fun or engaging. It's about checking boxes, making developers feel guilty for not being politically correct enough, and ultimately
And if game developers are listening to her and they're feeling guilt,
rejecting this wholeheartedly. There has been a full
there's something wrong with their brains.
about this
They're getting,
rejected by the
they're
players
getting infected
that have been
by
touched
brain rot.
these DEI firms, and now many of the game companies are in a rock and a hard place where they're like, oh man, we contracted with them and they started working on it, but now we see how gamers are rejecting it, and we don't want to be canceled because we are working on them now, but we thought
Why are they going to be cancelled?
we'd work with them. It's
Are-
a very weird catch-22 that they've put themselves in.
Cancelled like what happened with Genshin Impact?
Today, they're
All the modern audience, the wokes,
creating a great
tried boycotting the game
claims to have
by continuously playing it. That is an absurd idea for a boycott.
voice for modernizing
They don't they don't understand English words.
the developers
They try to make
player base.
their own definitions of
Been warned. If
English words.
you work with someone like this and your game gets completely
They
rejected
did a boycott.
before it even comes out,
They have no idea what the word boycott means.
it's returned to the game industry
So
is
they did a boycott and they continued playing the game.
always been about
Just look at the Bud Light boycott. Now that is what a boycott is.
dire
A
need
boycott, you totally don't support the product or the brand. You don't consume it. You don't even look at it.
problematic.
You erase it from your mind.
Immersive game experiences that challenge
Look at Bud Light. That is a
further
boycott.
into a better place.
What the wokes, the mentally retarded people, the assholes, what the assholes did,
So many great games out
their boycott
now that if you start doing this to the games that are good,
on Genshin Impact, it didn't affect anything. It didn't affect squat.
already happening. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. If you guys
The fact that they claim they're still going to play but don't spend, guess what? They are already not spending on the game.
and as always, you stay
So it doesn't effing matter what they do.
Piece of armor.
Oh,
How many gamer gators does it take to make a single piece of armor?
Oh, God, I don't know.
50. One to do the modeling, one to do the materials, and 40 to tweet that it's not your shield.
Okay. Again, I cannot be blamed for what the puppet says. What am I doing?
And yes, that is cheesy saxophone music playing to make sure it's crystal.
Oh my goodness, that is so not good to look at. Let's just close this window. Okay, so that was JT, Smash JT, with his report on Anita Sarkeesian. Again, as I've said earlier, if gaming studios, game developers, if they still hire this person, they can't make any excuses anymore. They know what they're getting. So if their games failed and they try to blame the gamers, they have been infected by brain rot. The mental retardation got them. Okay, let's see here. We have here Assassin's Creed Shadows is crazy. It's almost 40 minutes by, what is this? A reaction by Asmongold. She's unhinged. Woke devs racist meltdown over white men backfires. Just, again, they're just stupid. They make games that hates on or targets hate, or I guess you say, now I'm lost. Okay, I lost my thought. So they make games that are not for, men. They claim it's not for men. In this case, it's white men. So they claim it's not for white men. And then when the game comes out, the white men did not play it, and it did not make money. Guess what? They would blame them. What do you call it? Just insanity. Just insanity. It's like those celebrities, like in, I guess, Captain Marvel. Well, they said that the movie was not for white men or men in general. It's for women. Well, the women didn't even went out to see it, so it didn't make any money. They're so insane. They can't accept the fact that the audience for superhero content, gaming content, sports, what else? Action movies or anything action. The main audience is men. Young men, old men. It's men. Sure, there is a big portion of women that also enjoy the same content, but mostly it's men. So if you say that your content, your movie is not for men, guess what? You just failed. You just lost your business money. You just lost your studio money. But here they are, making statements, doing interviews, proudly saying, this is not for men.
Copistry Ambit says, visit Cavalier
Again,
page at.
It's just their insanity. Talking. They're talking out of their ass, as they say. What is this? Suck my balls. Sweet baby defenders panic as Space Marine 2 CEO. Okay, let's go check this out. This is from Endymion TV.
Hey everyone, it's Endymion, and you obviously have been playing Space Marine 2 like I have.
No, I'm not. I don't have a PC that will run the game, and it's a AAA game, so guess what? I can't afford it. Even if I have the PC to run it.
Asmongold reacted
But it doesn't matter.
by another
Eventually, maybe, 10 years from now, I'll be able to play it. It will go on sale
AAA game.
on GOG or maybe in Steam or maybe the Epic Game Store will just give it away.
This brings us to the main topic of this video. During that reaction that Asmongold did, the CEO of Saber Interactive, which made Space Marine 2, responded in Asmongold's comments. And this has led to what can only be called a witch hunt of epic proportions that is causing the industry to show its ugly face yet again. From Park Place, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 developer emits games at Embracer made him want to cry with their overblown attempts at messaging or imposing morals on gamers. We should probably...
The studio that made the game may not be woke, but the license holder of Warhammer is embracing wokeness.
Space Marine 2.
So in time, maybe not now, maybe the next version of Space Marine 2, which is most probably not going to be handled by the existing developer because they're not woke.
And that game
might
still down to the simpleness of shooting loops.
Have wokeness injected in it.
I hope that games like Space Marine 2 and Black Myth Wukong are the start of a reversion to a time when games were simply about fun and immersion. I spent some time as Chief Operating Officer at Embracer.
You'll also notice when it's a woke game, they focus on sexuality. The stories focus or involves sexuality.
What Matthew Karch said here has led to what can only be called a witch hunt by modern gaming news outlets and bad actors all around. Because what Karch is saying resonates with the actual player.
I guess they're going to be really good in making porn games. Maybe they should just do that instead, get out of the
places like PC
normal game industry and just
as did IGN
make porn games.
Answers because if Karch,
since they always involve sexualities in their games.
Why is it exactly? Well, let's dive into it. Firstly, the most obvious part that would ruffle the feathers of these modern gaming journalists would be the part where Karch says that he is sick of games with
Gamers are simple, especially male gamers. All they want is a gun and a lot of explosions.
Almost perfectly because it's true. We really don't want games like
give us a lot of explosions and of course
without nonsense being stuff.
Good-looking characters.
I think that we can all agree that if you played Space Marine 2, that it's definitely exactly how Karch describes it. It's a game meant to up your heart rate, keep you engaged, and have a simple but fun and engaging gameplay.
Give us the boom and
offer you a game.
We're good to go.
That's required. Of course, this is not a good thing. Because if your game is not overtly political or pandering something at all times, it is now a bad game. People across the industry have been getting called out for attacking Karch and trying to find out if what he was saying was actually him, and yes, we've already reached that point. So one of the people who has been vocal about this is Del Walker. They're a dev that previously worked on Suicide Squad.
That is just another asshole.
Us there's someone who likely champions.
Again, I'm just going to call them assholes because they are assholes.
Did Matthew Karch really write this, or is someone impersonating him? Dell would then double down further by stating if Saber doesn't issue a response, then that's a response.
Wow, okay. It's like he is entitled to get a response from the individual. What an asshole.
Tells me it won't comment on whether a YouTube comment on Asmongold's channel complaining about games imposing morals on gamers belongs to its CEO or not. So Saber is going down the no comment route, which likely means that Matthew Karch did in fact say what he did, because if he didn't, then Saber would simply
come
out and say,
come on, Mr. CEO, you don't.
There would be no other reason to.
You're not obligated to them.
because we all know
to reply or respond or give an answer.
the former suicide
You're not.
would retweet Ethan Gack of Kotaku by saying,
They're just a bunch of assholes
but here's my question to all of you.
doing assholes or doing what assholes do.
What was wrong with what he said? The only reason you fools are witch hunting the guy is because, unlike Del Walker and his team at Rocksteady, which shipped a $200 million disaster that took 8 years to make in Suicide Squad, Karch and his team delivered a game that has over 2 million units sold upon launch already and has healthy player numbers even to this day. The dichotomy of what players want versus what they want to give you, it couldn't be any more different than it is right now. And I'm noticing time and time again that whenever a game is made that is actually what players want from modern gaming, these journalists, well, they never celebrate these wins for the industry. Instead, they tear them apart and try to pull them.
Modern gaming doesn't mean having modern audiences.
Wishes more games in the future resemble what Space Marine 2 and Black
I guess they saw the two words are similar and thought they're the same thing.
forward, no nonsense fun, and entertainment for all players. And it's interesting that he said Wukong, considering we all know how places like IGN and more have went out of their way for well over a year now to accuse Black Myth Wukong's devs of sexism, to the point they literally bring it up in every single article that pretty much exists about Wukong. Like, I'm not kidding you. That's
What? They're still mad about this game?
has been referenced by pretty much every other gaming news outlet.
It's a very good looking game. I also like the graphics in Space Marine. Those are, two different games with two different graphic styles,
What people like Karch
which both I like. I like both of the style of the graphics used in the game.
reported on it, sure, but
Space Marine 2, more saturated, sharp colors.
wasn't a game made with their politics or messaging in mind.
Although Black Myth Wukong still has that Unreal Engine 5 signature, which you will, even if you don't see it, you will feel it when you are looking at the gameplay.
This is, at the end of the day,
You'll feel like it's made from the Unreal Engine 5
to fit their ideals.
because it has the same.
Gaslight you
I guess Unreal Engine has this signature. It's the same with
don't like Space
Bethesda Game Studios games, made in the Creation Engine.
which in today's Western gaming industry is a big no-no because men are bad.
You know it was built on the same engine, even if they are different games.
Cover of his promotional art as well. This used to be normal in gaming, but now
That's why when I looked at those
hate speech and
renderings of places in Skyrim that was done in Unreal Engine 5, they all look great. They all look amazing.
anyone who tries to step up
But as I'm watching the tour, maybe like the tour of Riverwood,
as you know, but
and maybe what's the other one?
a cog in the machine, if you
I
will.
forgot.
His power is nothing compared
The one of the first cities in Skyrim. Anyway, while I was watching the tour,
added context.
yeah, it was like amazing. Graphics looks
Squad, and we already
amazing, looks great,
it was like
but it didn't feel like Skyrim because
proportions.
it's missing that Creation Engine signature.
But they couldn't even manage a fraction of Space Marine 2's early access numbers on Steam during their official release. Dell, however, also at one point during this year attempted to go against the fabricated narrative himself, where he said this via Twitter. There's been a handful of times I've pitched black women characters that look like this. Then after 10 iterations, the concept or model
Why not make black women characters that look like
talking about mild changes and talking about
Hailey Berry?
styles.
There's a lot of beautiful black women.
Giving Gamergate men fuel, but it's very difficult to pitch beautiful or vain black
It is so insane.
grocery store aunties. There is room for both. Del Walker confirmed in his tweet here that he has seen
Just look at all the
gaming developers
black female cosplayers. They all look beautiful.
women to ever look.
There is nothing wrong in appreciating beauty.
Not mincing his words here. You
Only those that don't appreciate beauty
allow Dell's desire
are those that,
through. And like he
for
said,
some weird reason,
black women desire.
find beauty offensive because I guess
Those are his words.
we all know the reason. It's because
One side in his post, which we can assume is similar.
they're not.
Del Walker has
They're on the opposite side
then he shows
of
his
beauty.
sign on the right here, which I don't even know what this is from. Like, what game is this even? Maybe it's from Starfield, like an NPC or something. But anyway, if you look at these two side by side, you can immediately tell that there's a difference in aura and sexuality aplenty between these, and there's no.
If you are ugly
Then what's even more interesting is
in the outside or from the outside, and you're also ugly in the inside, you're like unredeemable.
Del Walker would then say this via
You're not redeemable. What is there to redeem?
DMs today with other black
There's nothing.
I will no longer be publicly discussing black representation in games for the foreseeable future. No more panels, articles, podcasts, nothing. This is not up for discussion, nor it is an invitation to try and change my mind. Cheers. So, it's obvious that what Dell said, it ruffled more than a few feathers behind the scenes. And likely, he was being scolded and attacked for his opinions in those DMs. Likely telling him to shut up, sit down, and don't challenge the narrative. Don't give these, as he says, Gamergate men fuel to attack, but I don't consider what Dell said here to be fuel at all. The man is simply telling the truth. And like the Saber CEO, what ended up happening to him as well? The same thing that always happens. You woke free game devs, you all dogpiled him, you excluded him for his comments, and then you ran a witch hunt to silence him in order to make an example out of him. And how is any of this okay? It isn't.
That is evil.
Too scared to speak out?
And only assholes will do that.
For many. They know if they do, they'll be black
Those were actions by assholes.
portfolio and go, wow, this looks great. Unfortunately, you said this on Twitter. And our human resource department, which is ran by morons, they don't agree with you. Therefore, you can't work here, or it'll make it look like we support wrong thing. So what ends up happening is you have a game industry that is crumbling in real time, not only in player satisfaction, but in trust as well. We don't trust a lot of what these journalists say, or these supposed game devs that support
They're not journalists. And again, Endymion, they're not journalists.
whatever they're actually allowed to publicly support and nothing else. How is any
They don't follow the ethics of journalism.
reminiscent of
So they're not journalists. They're basically just writers.
you're welcome, you're good. Say that Trump was right about one thing, and well, you're literally inciting violence now according to the same people who just embraced you moments before. They say that they're not in a cult, but the only people who will tell you they're not in a cult are in fact the very same people who are indeed in a cult themselves. The brainwashing is so ludicrously expansive, many of these devs refuse to see anything in any other way. Ethan Gack of Kotaku going after Saber CEO, I mean, that's nothing new. The guy works for Kotaku, a website, by the way, that is dying even quicker than we could anticipate. Smash JT posted proof based on analytics showing that Kotaku's actual site traffic, it has fallen off a cliff. And look, it was
Good.
already terrible,
That is good.
but they
Okay.
found a new low to reach.
As gamers, we shouldn't give them any views. We shouldn't give them any clicks. And we shouldn't view any of their ads.
And actions of woke feminists for well over a decade now, an industry that to this day is suffering from the efforts of initiatives.
Because the only way this, people are going to change is
Kind of the patient zero and the original
when
character, if you will, of the video games industry.
their bottom line is affected. And that is profit and money. Yeah, sure, they can all talk about righteousness and morals and all this nonsense that they like to talk about, which is in reality are not really righteous nor moral.
About video games in the process,
But in the end, everyone falls
and the video games
under the same
Of course, she's a liar.
umbrella,
Years later, she would then say this.
and that is money.
Since I was 5 years old. I was also fond of Nintendo and especially loved Mario and Kirby. I've been playing video games most of my life. Sure,
Those who are saying that they don't need money are the same people who has a lot of money.
still offering her services to
And guess what? They won't give all those money away.
later. And I bring it up because this is what has become the DNA, if you will, of this industry. All of these morons, these
That is just the truth of life.
and more, they are all off.
Unless, of course, the world becomes a communist and we don't have any more money and we are just fed by the elites. I guess that is the goal. Again, there is a big parallel between
The originator of the damage.
wokeness and communism. It's like in the East we call it communism, and in the West they're calling it wokeness.
Like every woman that is prominent in any way and is also Armenian are just women who are just awful human beings. I mean, Anita, of course, but also, unfortunately, the Kardashians too. Goddamn. The fact I share some level of ancestry with these people, it makes me upset just thinking about it. But like always, this is what happens when you try to make something for the players in 2024. Instead of being celebrated, you're swarmed and attacked. And of course, as I was making this video, Ethan Gack, the same Kotaku guy who was leading this witch hunt, ended up writing an article about all of this and giving his opinions. The article from Kotaku is titled, "Why a Space Marine 2's Executive's YouTube Comment Became a..."
That is the only time. This is the only time I will see like content from PC Gamer, The Gamer, IGN, or Kotaku. And that is when I'm watching other content creators
I'll read you some of what
cover
he said, and then we'll
what those people has
have. He said,
written or put out.
40K Space Marine 2 made by Saber.
So my view and click is going to the content creator that I enjoy watching and not to those mentally retarded assholes.
Mystique into a rebuke of modern games that don't conform to certain
Maybe we should, stop calling them wokes and just call them assholes. Oh, you're woke, so you must be an asshole. Okay, asshole. Asshole.
combat, beautiful presentation, and celebration of the Warhammer 40K world and lore.
What up, asshole?
With modern games that are either live service hamster wheels or single player
What kind of assholery are you going to do now, asshole?
gameplay systems. But he also talked about the game oozing with so much masculinity that I feel like I've been in a desert for the last.
Who knows? They might even enjoy that,
Nobody wants to
Asshole.
or like for courage and honor, for brotherhood, for the Emperor. Legendary Drops went on to praise the limited banter among the characters, calling out games that eschew simple good and evil characters and more stoic dialogue. The video
They call an asshole a non-birthing hole.
reaction to it. Agreeing with most of Legendary
No, it's not a non-birthing hole. It's where shit comes out.
games have complex characters. The
That's why you're called an asshole, because everything that comes out of you is shit.
charisma, as Mangold said at one point. There's a two-step that happens in
Non-birthing hole. Again, they don't understand. They don't understand English words.
and boutique reactionary
And because they don't understand English words,
of shoehorning
they
progressive
like to redefine them.
organizations are made whenever a title dares to showcase diverse characters or tell a story that doesn't solely revolve around the straight white male that's traditionally centered in video game box art. Asmongold bringing up Dustborn, a recent action-adventure indie release about a band traveling across America, is specifically a reference to that. The game, and the team behind it, became such a target of anti-woke reactionaries online that the studio had to put out a statement. Rather than just disagreeing with the values expressed in the game, it becomes apparent for some to show that the game has financially failed and was bad because of those values. The same way some are now championing Space Marine 2 not just because it's a fun and well-designed game, but in parts claiming that it's fun and well-designed because it centers young men as the target demographic. A lot of people probably just thought, yeah, Space Marine 2 rules, I miss couch co-op and not grinding battle passes. But for a contingent of the anti-woke gaming backlash, it vindicates
If these assholes, if they want to target the the women audience, what they could do is make maybe a drama type of
harassment campaign against story
game, that revolves around drama, because women likes drama.
major game. There's extra
What do they like to watch? They love telenovelas. They love K-dramas.
fascist world building and the fact
They
that
love consuming
we remind them more
those kind of content.
that Warhammer is for everyone. To the degree that Space Marine 2 doesn't impose morals on the player, it's only because the politics of its universe are so obviously bleak and abhorrent that regular people know to treat them as grim dark fantasy rather than a hero's journey parable to 21st century virtue ethics. There's another hit game that's recently bucked modern blockbuster gaming trends, and it's Astrobot. There are no daily quests, crafting systems, or XP grind in that either, just a crisp and
It's a platforming game.
Mario Odyssey and Crash Bandicoot Collectathon platform. Weirdly, no one seems to be obsessed with whether the cute little robot at the center of the game is a paragon of masculinity or secretly a vehicle for transmitting woke propaganda, end quote. Holy crap, that was a lot to read, but can we just start with that ending part first? Why the hell are you bringing up Astrobot? It's the least controversial game this year. It's just a fun celebration of PlayStation games with a cute little robot guy. I love the game. I 100%ed it earlier this week, and nobody's debating whether Astrobot is woke. These journalists are just brain rotted, dude. Beyond this, claiming that Gamergate is a harassment campaign is rich considering these journalists have done nothing.
Not journalists. Stop calling them journalists. They don't deserve the title of journalists.
They also bring up Sweet Baby, but they don't name it that way. They just say they're a consulting company that were labeled Boogeyman for diversity. And oh, really now? It's funny how I keep dismantling Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement in everything that they do on this channel, yet these journalists never admit how wrong they are.
Not journalists.
Power in making things happen, you're crazy, especially when Del Walker, yet again of Suicide Squad, said this via Twitter. After 11 years in this industry, I finally did it. A black character on the front cover of a AAA game. Dreams come true, y'all. He means Deadshot being in Suicide Squad, and oh look, it's Kim Belair, the co-founder of Sweet Baby Inc.
The asshole is just stupid.
Del Walker saying
He could always make a black character
Kim with a heart emoji.
if he really wants to. Just make a new game, make a new IP that has a black character as the main character.
Any of these games
Or maybe make a game like Blade, you know?
will emerge from
Blade.
the shadows like a goddamn Grim Reaper with everything they've ever said detailing how they're actually lying. So shout out to Sile, follow him on Twitter and YouTube. Dude is a repository of gotchas.
These people are insane because back in the day, no one complained that Mario is
Walker, he shows how these devs, they can't
a white male.
other devs do really well. Like when Dell said, my gut is telling me Pal World was made.
And
I just have no proof.
guess what? The
Then some
developer, the creator of Mario,
says making a game is
it's
just
not even a white male.
I just can't pay.
It's Japanese.
Then he never followed this up.
No one complained
And it just turned out that
because it was a fun game. And even today, it's still a fun game.
and his team couldn't.
Although it can get boring once you finish it
Suicide Squad.
once.
Why I'm showing you all of this and placing it up against Ethan Gack's article at Kotaku is because he's trying to paint the narrative that everything his side advocates for is
Our princess is in another castle.
wrong, when in fact,
What are you doing here, Toaden?
games journalist
Are
was
you trying to
CEO for his comments. You guys,
cosplay as the princess?
Saber CEO's decision
No wonder Bowser is outside,
led to the devs there getting.
on the bridge rather than guarding you here.
There should be no negativity surrounding this game when it comes to what has happened here. But the fact that you've all gone to the point where what Saber CEO has said is somehow evil or wrong, it proves how backward this industry really is. Kotaku is the last place we should be listening to when it comes to good takes on the internet.
Let's just start calling them a bunch of assholes and a bunch of evil person
They're a horrific website that has long outlived their usefulness, and they're the
that are disgusting
zero credibility
and gross.
their own articles. The day that Kotaku dies, it will be a day that players will celebrate, and then they'll blame right-wing players as the reason that they failed. But all that will prove yet again, like I said in my previous video, which is that if the modern audience of magical liberal gamers out there supposedly exists, then why aren't
They don't exist. Again, yeah.
so-called liberal
Even if they do exist, the modern audience, they don't spend their time gaming, they don't spend their time watching movies, they don't spend their time consuming movies and other forms of entertainment, traditional entertainment. What they do is the entertainment is in the form of using their keyboards
And none of it is anyone's
and typing complaints and just annoying people in the internet. That is their form of entertainment. Not just in the internet, but also annoying people in real life, like those climate change activists
Racer showed him the absolute
that
he
that
saw firsthand how
they
important
go out of their way to destroy
Space Marine 2. It just proves that Saber CEO is simply reacting to an
art,
industry that is
and not just art,
kinds of content.
but everyday properties, and they would cause
When Matthew Karch and Saber have
inconvenience and annoyance to those who are just
it turns out that
going about their day, living their lives, going to work.
so on LinkedIn, when asked, Karch replied with, "Whoever wrote that seems pretty sharp. Yeah, this guy's having a laugh and we love to see it. Good for him for confirming it and sticking by his guns. But ultimately, they just don't want these sorts of games to exist because they go against the industry norm. Which is pathetic and sad, considering all Space Marine 2 really is a cool co-op third-person hack-and-slash game with shooter elements. It's not exactly reinventing the wheel here, but it's troubling that for an industry that is falling apart the way that it
Okay, as always, giving this video a like.
is from their own oblivion. They should be
Ba-boom!
a monumental win, but instead they're pulling it down.
So that was Endymion covering the CEOs, the Embraces, I think. See, I forgot the name of the studio already, but the studio that made Space Marine to the CEO, because the CEO made a comment on an Asmongold video about just their goal in making the game, and they focus on giving the fans, the gamers, what they want or what they expect from a Warhammer Space Marine game. Warhammer 40k. I forgot about the 40k Space Marine game. And as a male gamer, we are very simple. We are very simple creatures. Just give us a gun and something to shoot at, and have lots of explosions. And of course, good looking characters. We don't want to see ugly characters because it reminds us of what we look like in the real world. But the mentally retarded assholes, they want to see their ugliness in the game. They think it's a virtue. It's more like a fetish. It's a fetish. Anyway, again, that was Endymion. 1 million, the most hated actress in Disney's history. Snow White. She has skin as white as snow. Well, not anymore. Maybe it should be called like... I'm not going to say it. She's unhinged. Suing FAA. It's gonna be bad for Elon if the Democrats win the presidential elections. It's gonna be bad for Elon. Those people are mentally retarded. They're a bunch of assholes. Everyone in politics is a bunch of assholes, but they are like levels to being an asshole, and the other side is nearing, I guess you can say, Nazi level of assholeness.
Visit Cavalier Office KO5 page at link.
I guess the assholes are the wokes are envious of what they're seeing in China. Look at China. They have like the elite. The central government controls the people, and they almost have like absolute control. Maybe not even absolute, maybe it's total absolute control of the people. And they see it and they are envious. They're jealous. Look at that. How are we going to implement such control? Such totalitarian control? How are we going to apply that in our own world, in our own government, in our own country? So they try by, slowly ignoring their own constitution. And they are implementing laws by state level that slowly destroys the fabric of their own government, and it's affecting and slowly changing their country from a first world to a third world. Anyway, that is not gaming. Let's not talk about it. It's not gaming. Oh, see, IGN. This clip is about IGN. Guess what? I'm not gonna give IGN my view. I'd rather watch this clip from Asmongold than give IGN a view. Well, you can say that, well, Asmongold doesn't need your view because he's already a millionaire, but still. That is not the point.
Warhammer 2 CEO drama for his comment on your video. I saw that.
Okay. The same thing, the same topic that Endymion discussed in 20 minutes.
Saber Interactive won't say whether or not controversial YouTube comment is from its CEO. And so if you got in the article, they changed the title of this from controversial to explaining what it actually was.
Context. A few days ago, what was supposedly the CEO of Saber Interactive left a comment on one of our videos.
I hope games like Space Marine 2 and Wukong are the start of a revision to the timeline where games are simply about fun and immersion.
This comment went immediately viral, and as you might imagine...
So if you look at the title of the IGN article, they're so stupid. They use the words imposing morals, which is what they have been doing all the time. They're imposing their own twisted...
Saber then refused to respond.
That's the key here, keyword. Their twisted morals.
Post about it on LinkedIn.
And the reason why is because
I'd rather have
anybody. This is a media hack.
Normal morals than have twisted morals.
Then hopefully by a self-fulfilling prophecy, it then becomes controversial, right? But the truth is that this comment had 14,000 likes. Everybody was positive about it. Everybody was supportive. There was no controversy. IGN reached out to them, but they did not receive a response. Basically, something happens. And
you know why, IGN, they did not respond? Because you're a bunch of assholes. And normal people don't respond to assholes.
Themselves to these companies. Saber Interactive is making the right decision in the same way that Game Science made.
Oh, I was wrong. I mentioned Embracer. It's Saber.
No, it's to have...
I apologize for the mistake.
You don't talk about it with them. You don't give it oxygen. Because every time that you do that and you explain things to them, what you do is you empower this machine. I bought the game because of controversial comment, make games fun again. Please explain how it's controversial. A gaming publication finds a comment about making games having fun again is controversial.
Please explain how it's controversial. They can't even think.
Their game in Wukong has sold over 15 million copies. These people are simply no longer the gatekeeper to audiences anymore. You can directly advertise to an audience, and they are a vestige of a time that has been gone for over 15 years. So yeah, that's basically it.
Let's go and move on.
So that was the same topic that Endymion's video covered. What is this? Is this true? Because in the video up here, they said that SpaceX or Elon is suing FAA. There was like, I don't know where I saw this, but someone mentioned something like, SpaceX can make a rocket in a week. It takes them a week to make a rocket, but it takes the FAA 2 months, or it will take the FAA 2 months to complete the investigation. You know, back in the day, there's a term like, it's not rocket science. The reason why it's such a term is because rocket science is hard. Space is hard. Nothing is harder, I guess. I wouldn't really know. But they say it's really hard. That's why there's a saying, come on, it's not rocket science. Which means compared to rocket science, what we're doing or what they're doing is simple. So now SpaceX can make rockets in a week, and yet the FAA needs to take 2 months to complete an investigation. You know what the FAA should do? Fire all those people and hire people that can do the job. Do what SpaceX is doing. Hire people that can do the job, and not hire people that ticks check boxes. Ooh, are you a minority? Yes, click. Okay. Ooh, what gender are you? Ooh, you're what are you again? A pseudo-sexual? Okay, we tick another checkbox. And hair color. What is that? Is that purple, peach, or oh, it's a combination. Okay. But do they even know how to do the job? I guess that is not part of the checkbox. Maybe that is the reason why Boeing's planes are crashing. I don't know, I'm just saying. I can't confirm or deny if that was happening. It's just a rumor. Square Enix is broke. What happened to Square Enix? Why it's broke? This was like 3 days ago. Let's listen to Hypnotic and see why Square Enix is broke.
Now, as you guys are aware, I'm a major fan of Square Enix products, especially Final Fantasy video games. I have played...
back then, it's like Enix and Squaresoft, and then they combined.
Maybe a mobile version or something like that, but even some of those...
I played the only RPG in the day back in the day that I completed was made by Enix.
To see a company...
I believe it was Seven Saga. I believe Enix developed that game. It was super complicated.
Go down this rabbit hole of destroying...
Because it was very confusing.
...to listen to the fake modern audience.
It was hard because it was confusing. And I was playing the Japanese version. So I have to memorize... I had to memorize what the, the characters... what the characters do.
16 game I actually thoroughly enjoyed. I still can't believe they made Bahamut a flaming homosexual, but aside from that, the game was actually pretty well written. It was a little bit slow to start off with, which is why I think a lot of people ended up not fully playing it because they just gave up before it got to any good parts. And I understand that, but still, the game was overall very good, and I think it was a decent return to form in terms of storytelling for Final Fantasy. But the combat is heavily criticized by trying to be too much like Devil May Cry, and I think that is too much difference in terms of Final Fantasy. But now Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth have not met profit expectations, and this is not good considering that Square Enix has lost an ungodly amount of money because they decided to get woke with Forspoken and Marvel's Avengers. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, Marvel's Avengers lost them a lot of money, not because of wokeness necessarily, even though, I mean, starting off, you know, with Kamala Khan is probably not the best idea, but still, ultimately, this game lost a lot of money because they tried to be a live service game, and live service games right now are a huge risk for companies trying to do it because there's just too many of them, right? There's not enough players that are going to...
What do you mean? What do you mean? Genshin Impact is a live service game. Lots of players. Honkai Star Rail, live action game. Or live service game, lots of players. League of Legends, live service game, lots of players. Dota 2, live service game, lots of players. Counter-Strike 2, live service game, lots of players. Valorant, live service game, lots of players. Apex Legends. We could just go on and on and on and on and on. Again, guys, live service is just another word. It's just a marketing replacement for online games. Okay? It's just a marketing term. It makes the term sound, because online game is like, what, 30 years old already? It's an old term and it doesn't sell. But they have to create a new term, and the term that they
I thought it was great.
That they decided on using is live service.
They were too busy trying to do a
Don't get fooled.
Well, they wanted to do multiverse after multiverse after multiverse, and it muddled the amazing story of Final Fantasy VII and ruined it for a lot of OG fans, which were the ones who were going to keep buying these games, by the way. It wasn't these new players, the modern audience that they're trying to go for. It's the OG Final Fantasy VII fans that are they're the ones who are going to keep buying this game so long as it keeps giving them what they want. But that's besides the point. Anyway, let's talk about the actual profit loss for Square Enix, because it's not looking very good right now. It says Square Enix President and Representative Director Takashi Kiryu revealed that the company's two most recently released Final Fantasy titles, Final Fantasy 16 and 7 Rebirth, did not meet the company's profit expectations. In a document outlining the company's financial results briefing that was held in May, but only published today, Kiryu shared...
I played a few Final Fantasy games. I've never finished one. The most that I was about to finish was like Final Fantasy 12.
Despite the release,
and my save file got corrupted. I was like at the end.
In addition to which,
I was about to fight the final boss,
resulting in the operating loss.
I spent like a lot of time playing the game. The reason why I couldn't finish games like Final Fantasy back is just it's too long. And I didn't have like the console, so I have to go out and rent.
And they are struggling to stay,
which costs money.
Due to the failure.
So instead of playing role-playing games that will require a lot of time, I usually just play fighting games.
Operating revenue. So this is not looking good, right?
When I was able to buy a second-hand PlayStation 2,
it's not looking good. This is
it came with a lot of games, and one of those games were Final Fantasy.
I ain't gonna shill, bro. This fucking
12, I believe.
The chin because they themselves wanted to. They decided
I was so close in completing the game. Save file got corrupted because the memory card that came with the machine was like a generic one, the cheap ones.
You guys are out of your.
And then when that happened, I couldn't be bothered starting over. No.
To lose,
I'm not going to start over.
Now, unfortunately for you, what you're deciding to do with the story,
and I did not start over,
is also stupid, and you should not be doing that, right? Like, again, this is the difference between myself and Shills, because Shills would be like, "Oh, everything's fine."
Up to this day,
everything's good.
When it comes to the old school role-playing games, I've only completed like the 7th Saga, and I've started playing
sponsorship money, thank you.
A lot of them.
Fine. Yeah, ignore the fire. It's okay. Ignore the fire. That's the difference between YouTubers who don't shill and YouTubers that do shill, right? Because they can't even be honest.
For, I guess, 2000
what they've done. I love their IP.
Role-playing games. Well, Fallout New Vegas. completed at least one of the endings.
For a long
It has like I completed the ending where the protagonist, took over New Vegas by destroying all the factions, even Mr. House or Doctor House, Mr. House.
All right, word of mouth didn't carry Final Fantasy 16, unfortunately,
Skyrim,
as far as it could have. People heard about the bad
I've
comments.
completed all the factions, completed the main story. The only parts that I haven't completed are the DLCs for Dragonborn and Dawnguard.
We're dealing with where people
And I guess the Civil War.
more than 10 minutes without getting bored. So it's unfortunate.
But when it comes to the factions
Same thing.
and the main story, completed like multiple times already.
Once people found out what you did with the story, it's not good, right? You can talk about the combat all you want. You can talk about the gameplay and graphics all you want, and they were great. But once you're playing the Final Fantasy game for the story, my guy. Like, that's what you're playing it for. You're playing it for the epic boss fights, the story. And if one of those things are severely lacking, people are going to find out about it, and they're not going to want to play the game. It's just that simple. They'd rather just go play the original Final Fantasy VII game. It doesn't matter how outdated graphically it is. The story is a million times better. He said the HE game subsegment failed to better its profitability, posting operating losses in every year of our previous medium-term plan. In addition to this, we did not manage our title portfolio across the company as well as we could have, which I believe resulted in
Fortnite Battle Royale live service game.
Now, I will agree to an extent that they should not have released Final Fantasy 16 and Rebirth so close together. I think that was a dumb move, right? These are two major titles, and people can only handle and play one Final Fantasy game at a time because they take so much time, right? So you cannot release two big
See?
titles like that.
He said it.
And I feel like, yeah, they did cannibalize themselves. They kind of
They take too much time.
in 16. You had some OGs who were like,
So when I was in high school, again, I was like renting machines. So if someone is playing like, for example, Final Fantasy 3,
your games failed because word of
I
mouth
would just watch. I would be the guy in the back just watching.
they were really about, and it turned off a lot of potential buyers.
And I guess in that way, I completed the story of the game.
Results of Final Fantasy 16,
I would have friends
and we would continue to carry
who are
on.
going to spend like a lot of money trying to complete
That's because they,
role-playing games or JRPGs back in the day.
you got reviews, copies out there, and then people realize that the game is not as good as people were hoping. The combat system is too much like Devil May Cry. It doesn't even feel like a Final Fantasy game. So ultimately, ladies and gentlemen,
And I didn't have a lot of money to spend because my allowance, my school allowance was like for
figure out something quick. Do not
transportation and food.
or shut down in the
So what I would do if I want to play games is that I wouldn't eat.
They
I
absorb
would save the money for food, and then I would use that to rent the consoles.
validity of the it's just very volatile out there in the gaming industry. So
Or I would just buy something cheap like
following it and let you guys know. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching
a
this
soft bread and water.
I would greatly appreciate if you could like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.
Okay, let's give this a video. Oh, let's give it a video. Let's give it a like. See, my brain is like getting confused. Okay, Red Planet Live. Okay, it's not gaming. It's the Mars Society. I'm surprised they don't get a lot of views. Maybe a lot of people are not interested in Mars. I'm quite interested in Mars because it's science. I'm interested in science. It's just too bad that I'm really bad. I'm really bad at math. If you're bad at math, there's no way you can do science. They go hand in hand. Episode 1 and 2, boring. What it actually means, okay. These features are coming early. Ooh, let's go see what Board Gamer has in store for us when it comes to Star Citizen. This game is gonna release in 2040. I'm pretty sure. Again, it's taking them like 10 years to create one planet. Oh my goodness, if they're going to complete one system. For example, in our own system, the solar system, we have like 8 planets. And there could be others out there we haven't discovered. And if it takes them like 10 years to make one planet, and they're trying to make a system, maybe a system with like 8 planets as well, that is like 80 years of development. You will have great grandchildren. Your great grandchild will play this game, and it will still be in alpha, because their goal is to make or build an entire universe. I believe that was their goal. The good news is a lot of people are still giving the studio, forgot the name of the studio, Chris Roberts Studio. That is not the name of the studio. I'm just going to call it Chris Roberts Studio. By the way, one of my favorite all-time favorite games, Freelancer, was designed by Chris Roberts. I love that game. It was so simple. It was so simple that it's a lot of fun to play. You have a ship. You go out in space, and you shoot space pirates, or you can become the pirate itself and then, destroy those good do-gooders, maybe the Liberty Police, Bretonian Police, or whatever police, or even the military. So you're in space with a ship, and then you upgrade your guns, make them more powerful, or buy better ship to blow up bigger ships. It's just too bad that you can't have a capital ship in Freelancer. You can, but I believe you can blow up capital ships. There are missions where you can blow up, and even space stations.
Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. CIG appears
Hello, board gamer.
next major patch, Alpha 4
Are you still not bored of Star Citizen?
features. It's actually by bringing
Again, disclaimer, guys. What you're seeing, look at that. It's beautiful. That is rendered. It's produced. The actual gameplay of the game is very janky.
some hidden features that are in
The animations are janky. The ship movements are janky.
the expanding Alpha,
There's a lot of flickering in and out.
which is
I know. I've seen a lot of. I've watched a lot of gameplay of Star Citizen because I'm quite interested in the game.
of the year. And
I like the idea of a persistent universe.
down below. Or you want a VPN? Click on those links. It helps support the channel. Also,
Oh yeah, when it comes to VPN, I have a link, I believe, in the description for Proton VPN. If you guys use that and pay for a subscription, I would get a kickback. The same, if you're a gamer and you're lagging, you can. I also have a link for WTFast, so you can use that.
also they're going
And if you pay for the service, I would get a kickback as well.
and dramatic
Thank you.
stalactites and stalagmites. These caves provide a captivating setting for exploration FPS missions.
So they're adding caves, okay.
There's also rock caves illuminated by bioluminescent mushrooms.
Honestly,
So yeah,
when it comes to graphics,
make use of all of the other
the developers
used in
of graphics,
current archetype.
they should find an alternative to using polygons,
They're based on those.
because polygons is very limited and it's very tasking to the GPU.
Move cargo in potentially different ways.
Because besides the polygon, you'll need the textures, you'll need the materials, you'll need the
To replace some
whatever you need to display
acidic
an
atmosphere.
object.
Aberdeen. These just basically expand out the bio.
And all of those things are tasking to the GPU.
Rework and new displays. Now this is actually quite a big update.
But the problem is, it has become the standard polygons.
Includes new designs and functionality and customization options. There is a lot of meat to the HUDs and MFDs here. It includes manufacturer-specific styles with Aegis, Anvil, Drake and Argo all getting their own, but there's also a generic updated one for all other manufacturers in the short term. Not only does this look just a magnitude better, it's more streamlined. It's genuine.
Voxels were introduced, but they're still polygons.
With those new MFDs for
now they're worse
target status
because they're dynamic polygons, I believe it's called. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making terms up, like.
But also, it's got the like golden.
An asshole.
Having shields there. This also joins the Zeus Mark II CL and ES, which have been pulled into that patch as well. But what does this mean? Well, it makes sense that CIG are having a 3.0.
Look at that! Imagine if the actual game is that beautiful.
Space Expo with some updates.
Imagine, wow! Look at the scene.
Like that. But
okay, there is no jankiness. Again, this is a produced video. This is not actual gameplay.
Which might need a lot of bug fixing and tweaking.
I'm surprised Board Gamer is not showing actual gameplay.
This build.
There's a reason why. It's very janky.
Get some bits.
It looks bad. And as someone who is, I'm not sure if he is paid to showcase Star Citizen. But either way, as someone who showcases the game,
LTP.
Of course, he would choose to
seamlessly transferred data.
Show things that look perfect, that look nice, that look beautiful, and not janky.
And it's not just all of that.
See those spark ships?
The current life build.
In the real game, when you try to land, there's a lot of clipping. I saw one video where the ship is like, the ship went through the platform. And it was parked in a quite a slanted position. It was crazy. So again, the game is very janky.
Network message queue allows us to listen far more to information.
They should call it star jankiness.
Equipping items, etc., which further reduces delay. This has just been switched on for 3.24.1 now. They were testing it a bit, and they went, yeah, let's put it in.
Look at how beautiful it is.
In tandem.
If they can replicate this polish, you know, and implement it in the actual game, wow, okay, everyone's gonna lose their minds.
And getting optimizations for that, which will just help in general. There are tech preview tests with server meshing. This is running on a 3.24.1 build with server meshing enabled, and tests are sort of happening intermittently. The last tests were...
I'm not even trying to listen to Board Gamer. I'm just looking at the pretty pictures.
They were testing like 6 servers meshed together.
Because unlike the assholes, the woke assholes, I can enjoy looking at beautiful things.
If you're jumping into those tests going, I want to see some new stuff.
This is beautiful. This is art.
Super optimized servers.
But again, this is produced video.
For a reason, they are gathering data there for optimization and trying to get that stuff sorted. So you're going to say delays, you're going to see loads.
I'm not going to hate on Star Citizen because
within the next couple of months.
It doesn't look good. It looks good. That's why I can't hate on it.
And those next tests, they're going to happen any day now. Literally, there's some plan for later today, I believe. But all of this is reducing the burden of Alpha 4.0's sort of testing and what it needs to do to get ready as well. So stuff that they can do in the meantime. There is something interesting as well in the current live build, which is sort of like a stealth release again. It's NPCs are now around bunkers, and I mean above, on the ground above bunkers, defending or whatever.
Come on, you don't fight like that in space. Your enemy is not going to just stay there and take all the hits.
Mark up to allow NPCs to spawn on the surface near bunkers. If you run into any grassland areas in Microtech,
why are NPCs spawning?
And vice versa. Some players confirmed Copian attacks on NPCs, and generally that the
of course, it's an NPC, or they are NPCs. That's what they do. they spawn.
Improvements coming in that will allow us to make some really
spawn
content with all the things we currently have. Spawning improvements I'm most excited for, as it allows us to make bespoke templates that can then be applied to areas, meaning high quality handcrafted content combined with it being scalable. It's very exciting stuff. There was then a post asking about snipers, and they said you'll see that in Pyro. We showed off some of the combat areas in Pyro with large watchtowers. They'll be manned, but they're going to be sort of relatively low damage weapons, so you'll be able to take a few more hits because they don't want you to get too tapped by RNG accuracy. It seems a bit unfair, they said, since NPCs and players have the same damage output, or at least potential for it. He went on to say, when looking at balance and intention for those weapons, the bread and butter for snipers is mainly aim down sights time, projectile speed, damage fall off, weapon specific balancing. Does it take one hit to take out a light/medium, since damage profiles massively change with even a basic injury? There was another question here as well. Any chance we'll see NPCs with railguns soon to defend these sites? Probably not in stance and in the short term, but more complex encounters with railguns specific.
Are you saying that the game still doesn't have NPCs with guns? Really? Really?
Recently, since it's very different.
Oh my goodness, what are you guys doing? You have like
for FPS.
Thousands of people working on it. Maybe millions of people all over the world working on the game. And you still can put weapons on NPCs?
It's consistent. Bunkers are my least favorite.
What are you? The government taking away guns to people or from people?
It's always a tough choice with us debating one-hit snipers, two-hit snipers, and glint versus no glint. Just letting it play out and play the game more with it before we decide what we want to do is always a hotly contested topic in work chats as well. They are working on ammo management and finding ammo for NPCs as well, but in the short term, they're looking at fake reloads. I know some of that sort of was a little bit off topic from what we were talking about, but it was all in the same thread, and I did want to talk about it. It will be stuff that's coming into the game, potentially with 4.0, I suppose. Now, talking about 4.0, there is a ton of features, and that patch is still...
Is it really 4.0, or is it 0.0.4.0? How many zeros are in front of that 4.0?
Ridiculous amount of new stuff, including Pyro itself, contested areas, asteroid bases, settlements.
I guess they're focusing on building one system and then build the quest around it, the missions, before moving outward, moving on to different systems.
CitizenCon, but with all the tests.
That would be a good idea. In fact, just complete one planet, complete one planet with missions, quests, NPCs with guns,
some of these features to 3.20,
and some kind of story revolving around that planet.
Trying to get
that has maybe an 80-hour story integrated in it.
Because they said that 4.0 was going to be.
That will keep a lot of players or your current players busy. Look at the landing. Look at how smooth the landing is. That is not real, okay? That is not real.
I mean, the truth is...
Go and watch a gameplay of a starship. A ship in Star Citizen landing is very janky. There's a lot of clipping.
Playing 3.24.1 with the new sort of missions and the blockade runner stuff. What are you thinking of that patch with the hotfixes in? Has it fixed most of your issues, or are you having a great time now? Is it still unplayable for you? Are you excited for 3.24.2 with the Zeus?
What you're seeing here is not actual gameplay. It's produced. It is a produced video.
Fantastic, in my opinion. We've needed something like that for ages. But whatever your thoughts or questions, I would love to hear.
You will not see any junk in this video that is being shown by Board Gamer.
By the end of the year. What's in the box? That is what Pandora asked. She was told not to open that box, but she did. The internet is like Pandora's box, full of the chaos of the world. And Pandora basically opened an email attachment asking to help a millionaire prince move money around. Bam! It was Medusa all along. You've turned to stone.
No, it's not a millionaire prince in Nigeria anymore.
NordVPN.com/boardgamer. NordVPN is...
There you go. Use Proton VPN.
It helps protect you from the terrors of the internet, helping you be more secure and private, while also giving you great...
Maybe I'll check out NordVPN to see if they have a free service.
Every month we have a ship giveaway, and this month...
Oh, give me a ship. Even though I won't be able to play the game, it will not run on my PC.
More than normal. We're going to give each of them...
But I do like getting things.
An X1.
I have like a bunch of games in my Steam library that I haven't even played because of system requirements.
All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning any of those is comment on any of my videos made during the...
That looks nice, okay? Not gonna lie, that ship looks nice.
Patrons and channel members, your support allows us to make daily content. You are the best, and you should consider joining them by clicking the join button under my videos. It goes a long way in helping us, as does...
Okay, there you go, just gave it a like. Board Gamer, Shilling, Stars Citizen. Maybe he just likes the game. I myself likes the game. I like it. But it doesn't mean I'm going to, go in debt just to support it. I'll support it by, checking it out from time to time to see how they're doing. And maybe they could surprise me. Maybe one day, look, the game is released! Yay! We have like 10 systems. Actually, just one system is enough. Even just one planet with working quests. 80 hours of gameplay on that planet with quest missions, NPCs with guns, and a lot of people to interact with. That would already be great. She ruins gaming. Okay. This is war. Ubisoft and Sweet Baby just got caught. What did they do? Okay, I'm checking this out. This is a Hero Hey video. Sometimes I confuse the two, Rev Says Desu and Hero Hey. I don't know why. I guess the style of their videos are quite the same. The big difference is that Rev Says Desu has like an on-screen avatar. Hero Hey is just a voice in the ether.
Well, apparently when Ubisoft is not using... Well, apparently when Ubisoft is not using bots to defend themselves, they're using Sweet Baby Inc. Park Place.
They're so stupid.
Used by Ubisoft and the New York Times to attack gamers over AC Shadows.
The asshole Ubisoft is so stupid.
It's got to be some of the worst things you could do to defend yourself as a company, using bots and using Sweet Baby Inc. Like, what are they?
And the platforms are stupid as well for allowing it. The bots were so obvious. They were so obvious, my goodness.
The West using
how are they so stupid?
And that the Japanese people were not upset with how the game not only featured Yasuke as a protagonist, but that he's depicted as a samurai. Bro, people in Japan literally made a song that mocks AC Shadows that in only 2 months has already gotten nearly 3 million views. And of course, all over the internet, plenty of Japanese people have also criticized Ubisoft, plenty of videos, plenty of posts all over social media, etc, etc. And these bootlickers really want to try and say that it's all just Westerners using translators. They then write about Hashimoto, who, as you can see here, was listed as a freelance narrative design consultant over at Sweet Baby Inc. And they say Hashimoto told the New York Times, quote, "It was people in the West who were upset with seeing Yasuke as a samurai." Small added, Small, for those that don't know, is the journalist behind said New York Times article. They say, Small added that Hashimoto explained, quote, that many of the negative online comments written in Japanese appear to have been roughly translated from English. The narrative that Hashimoto, Small, and Ubisoft were trying to spin was outrageous to begin with, given that Small had written just 2 paragraphs ahead of his citation of Hashimoto that Ubisoft attempted to assume concerns about the game's authenticity, apologizing in a lengthy statement for promotional materials that it said had bothered some Japanese audiences. Another contradiction there. Even before this, Small noted, the inclusion of Yasuke was the primary complaint, but observers also pointed to the presence of Chinese architecture and period inappropriate flags. The controversy became so heated that a small right-wing political party in Japan formally asked the government to comment on what is considered historical inaccuracies. If it was just Western people, why was a Japanese political party requesting an investigation into the game, and why did Ubisoft issue a so-called apology to Japanese gamers? Nevertheless, it's been discovered that Hashimoto was actually an employee of Sweet Baby Inc. from February 2020 to April 2023, as noted by his own LinkedIn profile. Not only is Hashimoto a former employee of Sweet Baby Inc., but he's an activist journalist whose articles are featured at Polygon.
Not journalists. Not a journalist.
Gamers Group. Mark Kerr.
They have bastardized the title journalists.
New Horizons by acknowledging Japan's history of colonial rule. You gotta be kidding me. This dude...
Journalists back then are well-respected people who go out of their way to, even at the loss of their lives, to cover a story and report on it and research on it and bring it to the people. Those are journalists.
It is unsurprising.
These people who are writing about games that they don't even play or they can't even beat, they're not journalists.
For example, Amazon
they're not.
Use this play.
And
the Lord of the Rings.
They won't do anything that will risk their own lives. No, they won't. So they're not journalists. They don't even do research. What they do is they just parrot or repeat whatever it is that are given to them. Okay, so you write this, okay, and you tell that, you know, those people are bad, men are bad, okay, and gamers are bad. Okay, just spin it around, make it sound like that. There you go. That's the modern journalists. They're just puppets.
For these people, really just means
They're puppets of their overlords. They love this idea of having people reigning or controlling over them. It's just like what Loki said in the Avengers. Loki had a speech where he was saying that
who are these people that feel so threatened or disgusted?
Man's natural state is being ruled.
Did not end up working for Rings of Power, as the Hollywood Reporter's Kim Masters reported in April 2023.
And for those assholes,
watched part of the show's premiere back in 2020.
Yeah, they like the one. They're the ones. They like the idea of
even more closely than usual
ruling over others. And unfortunately, there are those who are,
for those outside,
I guess,
rate was higher.
They lack their own will and would just bow down, bow down and submit.
Assassin's Creed Shadows, as Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot already revealed that the game is unlikely to be the best-selling Assassin's Creed game of all time. Barclays' Nick Dempsey asked him, when you talk about it being the most ambitious, are you hoping for it to be the best-selling Assassin's Creed game? To which Guillemot replied, at this time we can say we expect Assassin's Creed to be among the high sellers of the company so far. Okay, so in other words, he dodged the question. The game's pre-orders do not look good either. Craig Skitstimus, aka Stuttering Craig, who owns and hosts the Side Scrollers podcast, shared that a retail insider informed him that the game is selling less than one copy per store. He says, my insider told me that as of this morning at their nationwide big box chain, Assassin's Creed Shadows has less than 800 pre-orders combined for Xbox and PlayStation 5 company-wide. He added, they have over 900 stores. That's less than one pre-order per store. Yikes. On the PlayStation Store, the Ultimate Edition of the game, which costs around $130, is ranked 16th behind New World Eternum, Dragon Age The Veilguard, Silent Hill 2, Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns Expansion, and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which, by the way, is a game that I'm excited for. Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was one of the best fighting games of all time. As for Assassin's Creed Shadows, the base game is even further down the list in the 21st place behind Disney epic Mickey Rebrushed, Throne and Liberty, and Sonic X Shadow Generations. The Gold Edition sits on the second page in 30th place. And they end by saying, what do you make of this revelation that Hashimoto was a former Sweet Baby Inc. employee? Yeah, like I said in the very intro, I just can't believe that Ubisoft is doing what they do and they think this is like the right move. They're one of the largest gaming companies in the entire world, and they could just put that power and money towards making good games, but apparently that's too much to ask. Instead, we see them come up with all kinds of excuses and contradictions, bunch of bots all over the internet attempting to defend them. We see it all over Twitter and YouTube comments, for example. Heck, I made a video a few days ago where I talked about how a video that I made talking about the terrible financial situation for Ubisoft had gotten an influx of bot comments. They were like spamming the comment section with periods. And then in between the period spam, there were other bots leaving comments attempting to defend Ubisoft and Star Wars Outlaws, but their comments sounded so nonsensical. And now it looks like the New York Times is collaborating with some ex-Sweet Baby Inc. employee to defend Ubisoft as well. This whole situation is just so bizarre. On top of all that, there was the old news where they came out with Skull and Bones trying to say this is like a quadruple A game, everybody.
Which means the assholes are getting together. They're getting together, they're arming themselves, and they're going to fight back.
Possibly do. It's like they have an option.
Let's fight back like the true assholes we are.
And to end with some comedy, let's go back to that whole Hashimoto Animal Crossing thing. Because Hashimoto made this tweet, says, "Hi, I wrote about Animal Crossing New Horizons and why acknowledging Japan's history of colonial rule is important to the discussion." No, it's literally not at all. It's a freaking Animal Crossing game. If you're taking it that seriously and getting all mad at it, something's seriously wrong with this person. They end by saying, obviously it doesn't cover everything, but feel free to read. The headline: Animal Crossing New Horizons and Japanese Colonialism. Weirdo. Anyways, I will leave it there. Thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed my coverage on this topic, please consider liking and or subscribing.
Okay, sure. Let's give this a like. That was Hero Hey. Hero Hey, Hero High. They all sound the same to me, I guess. Kenichi Ibina, a tribute to someone special, Michael Jackson. I will hit you. Made for cat ladies. Oh, okay. I'm going to tell this. I'm going to tell this to my wife. It says here, made for cat ladies. Maybe I don't think she will like. Yeah. She likes cats, but we have like 12 cats at home, and she's mostly the one taking care of them. But I don't think she will like this Agatha thing. Besides, she's not into the Marvel. Again, ladies, actual females, guess what? They like soap operas. They like telenovelas. They like drama. She enjoys watching right now. The dramas that she enjoy watching are these dramas that are made by amateur creators. So they do this, I guess you can say short videos, maybe a few minutes long, like dealing with certain topics or issues that happens in everyday life. She's like really enjoying it. And they're not well produced, but I guess some of them are funny. And the acting is quite raw because the actors in the videos are not professional actors. They're like everyday people acting. Some of them are good, but most of them are basically just delivering their lines. This is your line, just say it. And sometimes they would do it in a very robotic way. It's so annoying sometimes, but she enjoys watching those. I don't think she will enjoy Agatha. Who the hell is Agatha? No one knows who Agatha is. And honestly, we don't care. Here we have another clip from Asmongold. Ioware is F. Or fucked. Okay, there you go. Fucked.
There's been more and more people that have been writing articles about the comment that was made on one of my YouTube.
Oh, okay. It's still the CEO of the Saber
made Space Marine 2, and they were hoping
Saber Studios.
just being games without imposing morals or telling gamers what to think. Obviously, this upset a lot of video game journalists, in which he decried the current state of video games.
Not journalists. Come on, Asmonbald. Not journalists. Just writers.
Here, I'll give you a really good example. You can have, this is the new Dragon Age game. You can have top surgery scars turned on. I cannot imagine anything more intellectually devoid and creatively bankrupt than this. This is a fantasy world, and the only way to remove a person's breasts are the exact same way that we have in real life. This is crazy. Absolutely fucking insane. Why the fuck would you need top surgery scars in a game that has fucking magic? This is a world where people are able to change other animals.
You have magic. You don't need surgery. You can turn yourself in a dog if you want.
Any creativity, a way to virtue signal that you care about trans people. And I think that if anything else, the people that should be very annoyed about this.
Why don't we have like what?
I can't speak for any trans.
Angels.
I can speak for
angel-like wings.
I don't think that hardly anybody.
Angelic wings. Why can we have top surgery scars, but we can't have angelic wings or halos?
Slider was painfully conservative. Crazy conservative. That's the ass. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking... This is a joke. That's a 100? No, it's not. I can go on the... Look, where do we have? Where's the ASMR section?
They don't like. That's why these people are insane. Come on, people. Are you not yet enlightened? These people are so insane. Okay? That I suddenly lost my thought. I will get it back. Oh my goodness. That is a meeting. I tend to lose my thought. Okay, there you go. I suddenly remembered. So they don't want, they don't want morals being imposed or morals or beliefs being imposed to them. But when it's the other way around, it's okay. Effing assholes. That's why there's just a bunch of assholes. Okay? It's good that, it's good that it has that. Or I knew about it earlier because I was kind of interested in the game. Although, again, I don't think it will. At least now, even in the future, I won't have to buy it. They introduced that in The Sims 4. Insane. But there's nothing I can do about it. I already have the game. And guess what? I bought the game. And now it's free. And all they gave me is like a couple of free DLCs. My goodness. A bunch of assholes. EA. They're a bunch of assholes as well. They're all assholes. Okay, anyway, guys, I'll be right back. Nature is calling. Okay? Nature is not an asshole, but right now, nature is calling. I will heed the call of the wild. Okay, so unfortunately, someone else is still using the bathroom. Okay, I have no choice but to wait. I have to wait. What do we do while I'm waiting? What is happening? Oh, I'm sorry, my love. Okay, let's go check this out. Is this about gamer or gaming? Did she spread more slander? She effed up again. This was like a day ago. I have no idea what this is about.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rip here. So today we have to talk about some more VTuber-related drama.
Okay, VTuber drama.
Debunked allegations.
Oh, look at that! It's her. It's his. Or I have no idea.
Well, it is.
The avatar looks like a girl, but the voice sounds like a man. So it's very confusing. I'm confused. Rob says this.
So for years,
maybe
about different
day. Okay, day is
1,000 views on those videos. But one day,
okay, I thought this was gaming related, but it's not.
Right here, and they got significantly more views. And now fast forward 3 months later, and she's just the drama channel, right? She's doing stuff like
because again, you know, people like drama. It's all about getting the views. It's all about the views. It's all about the views, and you know it.
So she makes some pretty outrageous claims. And I talked about her, like I said, about 2 months ago because this video in particular was, in my opinion, very irresponsible. It's titled, "This Lolly VTuber Group Started a Hate Campaign Against Another VTuber."
Okay, I'm not interested. Reb says this. Let's pause this. People might think I'm a member of the VTuber community. I'm not. I am just an old guy with an on-screen avatar. That's it. Okay, that's it. Censored games don't sell. Dead Rising. Oh, it's Dr. Disaster. Let's go check this out. From Dr. Disaster. The space pirate. The space pirate that pays taxes.
What's up, space pirates? This is your captain, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster, and once again, it looks like the much sought-after modern audience has failed to show up. There aren't enough.
Of course they won't show up. They don't exist.
A game that was obviously made for them.
Where did everybody go?
Before we look
well, they went and
context first.
Watch.
You may remember that at the beginning of the year,
paint dry, I guess.
Justice League was an abysmal failure that ended up costing Warner $200 million in losses.
Good for them. I am very happy that they lost money. Because that way they will realize, that is the only way they will realize that, you know what, this modern audience thing, this woke thing is not good for business, okay? Just look at Ubisoft. Ubisoft is,
and at the time of
what?
Recording, it's right around 4,000.
The investors are getting involved because of what happened to Ubisoft. Again, the only way they will listen is once it has affected their bottom line, and that is money and profit. Because a business is an entity made to make money. If it's not making money, it's not business. It's a monkey business.
Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance.
I don't think so.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and
Sure. Gonna give it a like.
where I keep a list of woke
Let's see here.
AI infected games.
There you go, good doctor. Just gave the video a like.
Over there is Dr. Disaster 1. But anyhow, let's have a look at Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster and how things are going for this turd. Thus far, they aren't looking too good for this game. Obviously, it's possible that the numbers pick up. After all, this is just a Thursday, and player counts typically rise in the evening, and we can possibly expect to see this game hit its peak concurrent player count this weekend, like Saturday night potentially, when the majority of gamers have time to play. But I think it's fairly safe to say that this isn't exactly a powerhouse. Dead Rising has had a large media blitz and a large marketing campaign, but the numbers still aren't good. A peak player count number that is only 10 times higher than Concord still isn't good at all. As I said earlier, what Dead Rising has achieved so far is only about half the numbers that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League got, and that game basically resulted in the gutting of Rocksteady Studios. I suspect that the budget for this game is nowhere near what the budget was for Suicide Squad, but still, I will bet they dumped a good 100 million or more on this game, and if that's the case, then Dead Rising needs to sell a good 2.5 to 3 million copies in order to just break even. And with a player count that hasn't even hit 10,000 on Steam, it's fair to assume they haven't gotten more than 1% of that figure thus far. The thing is, the bulk of sales in games comes during its launch. It's the same for movies, of course. When something new comes out, the diehards always flock to it right away and spike the numbers. And then this game or movie or whatever relies on word of mouth to maintain momentum. Well, in this case, that may not be working out very well.
Well, if the word of mouth is bad, then guess what?
The hardcore fans,
it's gonna die.
Out in droves to support the game. But even these hardcore fans of Dead Rising aren't exactly giving it glowing praise. As you can see, 1 in 5 of these gamers are giving Dead Rising a negative score. Typically, games like this tend to lose percentage points on their scores after several days. So this does not bode well for Dead Rising at all. It's not being reviewed very well. And I can't blame those gamers. With all the censorship going on in this game, I certainly won't be playing it. And that sucks too, because I really want to play it. I love the original Dead Rising. It was my first game back on the Xbox 360, and I spent a lot of time roaming around the mall and bashing zombies. It was a lot of fun, and it is extremely disappointing that Capcom felt the need to modernize it and chase after an audience that doesn't exist in large enough numbers to support them. But this is what they get, I guess. They wanted to virtue signal to the journalist class and have the obnoxious brainlets who write for the likes of Kotaku and IGN, they wanted them to like it. I feel like a lot of this is just the way marketing is done these days, though. The way that games and movies are marketed today is they put progressive shit into these games, and then the media agrees to give it positive coverage. They'll write all kinds of glowing praise in articles, and they will run cover for the game.
How is it called progressive? Tell me, how? How is it called, or why is it called progressive, when their ideas are very regressive?
That it once had. They no longer influence people in any meaningful way. They are either ignored or held in outright contempt from gamers who know that their opinions are bought and paid for by their corporate overlords. That's why we are seeing only a few thousand people play this game. It's higher than the numbers for games like Concord, admittedly, but that is why these developers like to throw their messaging into IPs that are already established, because these ideas can't stand on their own. These so-called progressive ideas are shunned by people if they try to have them stand on their own. But if they use something like Dead Rising as a skin suit, then the hardcore Dead Rising fans will buy the game and get that messaging. But the numbers of people who look past this con are dwindling. In any case, I'm going to leave it there. What do you expect the final count will be for the maximum concurrent players on Steam for Dead Rising? Drop your thoughts down below and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous.
Dead Rising, maybe because it's being beaten by Lollipop or Chainsaw Repop. I don't know. Sounds like they're almost in the same genre, and that is zombie killing. It's not even a genre. Zombie killing games.
Something that has been making me depressed because I am so
Anyway, guys, that was Doc. Oh, I forgot to like the video. Where is it? Okay, let's see if I can find it again. I can't find the video anymore. Come on, Dr. Disaster. Where are you? Where is it? Dr. Disaster, is it? Did 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 it? Anyway, guys, I can't find it. As always, look at that. Look at the time. Ooh, I forgot. I guess I enjoyed the. I didn't get tired, I guess. It's like 2 hours already. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the stream, and if you did, please consider following the channel in Rumble. Focus on Rumble, or in Twitch if you happen to be watching in Twitch, as well as in YouTube. I'm going to continue live streaming in YouTube until, I guess, YouTube bans my account or something. I hope not. I don't want that to happen, but if it happens, then it happens. But again, if you are a content creator, you like making content, you enjoy making content, you like doing live streams, and you like podcasting, but unfortunately your content is not what you would call something that aligns with YouTube's politics and beliefs. You're not an asshole like them, and you're constantly worried that one day you'll get your channel demonetized or at most deleted. If you have that fear, well, guess what? There is an alternative, and that is Rumble. You don't have to switch immediately. What you can do is you can live stream on both, and that means you'll be making money or earning a little bit from both platforms, one from Rumble and one from YouTube. Signing up is free, and having your content monetized is quick and easy. You don't have to wait 4,000 hours. You don't have to gain 1,000 followers. Just verify your Rumble account, and it's done by entering a phone number, and that's it. Once you get and verify your OTP or whatever it's called from your phone number, you're verified and you are ready. Your channel is ready to be monetized. That's how easy it is. If you are interested, you can sign up under my referral link, which is rumble.com/register/caballero. Hello guys, thank you for watching, and hope you guys have a good day. If I can, I'll do another one. For now, I'm going to take a break and check what's happening with my avatar in Second Life. See you in the next one. Bye bye for now.